So, welcome back to those who've been watching my story time from wife to caregiver. And this is my story. You go back and watch the other videos, you will see like the introduction and how I met my husband and how it led up to him becoming terminally ill shortly after we got married. So, anyway, let me fast forward. So now he's home and I'm learning how to do his bandage changes, the wet to dry dressings, and the surgical wounds where I could literally take my fist and put my fist into his leg. Like those wounds begin to heal pretty quickly, pretty rapidly. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful for the nurses and the doctors and the people who were coming in to help. However, while my husband was healing, he stayed in the bed a lot. He stayed in the bed a lot to the point where he couldn't get out of the bed anymore. It's like his legs just kind of gave out on him. So that's why I would say it's very important for those who may be going through something similar. If you still have your bearings about yourself, if you're still able to walk, it could be depression or something that's keeping you in the bed. It could be pain that's keeping you in the bed. I would encourage you to get out of the bed. Get out of the bed and walk around because now you're allowing the blood to properly circulate throughout your body. And that's why it's so important for you to do it. Like, please, please, please do that again. So if you're watching this and you're laying in the bed right now and you know that you can get up and walk, but you're choosing not to get out of the bed, please, 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 if you need help getting out of bed, try to get some help. Ask somebody to help you. Call the fire department, call the police department. If you don't have anyone in your house, call them and say, hey, I just need help getting out of the bed because you gotta move around. You have to move around. If not, your body's gonna become so restricted, and the blood flow in your legs and things like it's not gonna flow properly. And it's really true what people say. If you don't use it, you lose it. So that's my encouragement. Get up out of that bed. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Please get up. Drink your fluids. Um, eat your vegetables and your fruit and you know try to go outside if you can because depression can kill you. It can. So get up out of the bed, do what you can for yourself while you still can do it because there's people who are completely bedridden. And that's what had became of my husband. But eventually, with physical therapy, occupational therapy, and a will to live, he has been able to get the proper help that he needed. It's now 2024, and 4 years later, but we gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But anyway, even when he came home, like I said, he was staying in bed a lot. He didn't move around a whole lot, you know. So it became more difficult for him to try to get out of the bed, more difficult for him to walk around. He was in and out of the hospital. I want to say July of 2021. My husband was considered FTA, which is failure to thrive as an adult because of the chronic illness that he had, his wounds. Even though they did surgery and stuff, he just kept getting infected. He ended up becoming septic. So that's called sepsis. That's when you have an infection in your blood. Um, and if that disease is not managed properly or caught in time, it can start shutting down your organs. Eventually, you can die from being septic. So if you feel like you're having fevers all the time, you're very tired, you're losing your appetite, you have shortness of breath, your blood pressure is low because somehow you are able to check your blood pressure at home, please, 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 please go to the doctor. If you have an issue with wounds and you're bleeding all the time, women, if you have a really heavy period and you feel like this might be a little bit too much blood, please go get that checked out. Please, please, please. If you have a like a cyst or rise or something on your body, whether it be your leg, your arms, under your arms, and it's very, very painful, please seek medical advice, medical attention, go to the ER if you have to. Because I think what was happening, or what's happening with my husband, is his lymphatic system. The lymphatic system, the job of the lymphatic system is to clean everything out, right? However, some people have ways that the lymphatic system is trying to clean itself out, but it's pushing through your skin, if that makes sense. And then that's like why people have like bumps on their skin, they have acne and things like that, because the body is trying to excrete waste the best way that it can. And sometimes people who have certain conditions where they sound like HS, um, hidradenitis suppurativa, that's when the body again is trying to excrete, but it also creates these very painful boil-like cysts in different parts of your body, and it's just trying to expel everything. So those cysts, if they're not treated, can become infected. And then when they become infected, it will in turn create an infection within your blood that will make you become septic. Once the infection has entered your bloodstream, you don't have that much time to get the proper treatment that you need. So that's why I'm saying, like, don't just sit on it. Don't just say, oh wait, it just go away. I'm gonna just put a hot towel on it. And no, go get it checked out, because your body is trying to expel it for a reason. And if it can't expel it and it's just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, that increases your chances of again having sepsis and eventually dying. July 2021, my husband also was placed on palliative care. He was put into a nursing home, but he was only in a nursing home for about 2 weeks. Um, it's a lot that happened during that time. He didn't want to live anymore. It was a lot. It was a lot. And me living here in Chicago, moving away from everyone and everything I knew in Florida and coming here, it was a hard transition. Still at times it's hard. My husband, he don't have family like that. So it was relying on the doctors and the nurses, unless it involved money, right? So the doctors and the nurses and the physical therapists and occupational therapists, you know, we forge relationships with them, because that came family. We live in an apartment. We live on a third floor. The third floor, no elevator. So there are times when I had to call the fire department to come to bring my husband downstairs. So that is another great resource too. So if you are in a situation where you need to get to the doctor, you need to get to the hospital, you can contact the fire department. So you call 911 and you ask for the fire department. The fire department will come and they will help you get out of the bed, and they will take you out of your apartment. So with us living on the third floor and my husband having issues with his legs, having the fire department come and bring him downstairs to put him into the car, like if I had to take him to the hospital, then, but it's not a hospital that he wanted to go to that was local, which probably, like, most of the times it wasn't a hospital until he was actually taken to the hospital. My husband had begun to have like horrible seizures, and I think it was the medication that he was taking. So I knew that I couldn't just have him placed in the car and me drive 20 to 30 minutes away. He needed immediate care. So they were able to take him to a hospital that was closer to us, the University of Chicago Medicine. That's where he met a really great dermatologist who has been helping him with the skin disorder that he has. But before I even get to all of that, um, the fire department will, even if you live on the first floor, even if you live in a house, you can contact the fire department and say, hey, I need to be transported. Or I need help getting out of the bed and get to my car. They will also help you, like once you come from your appointment, They can also help you get back upstairs. You know, if you live in a an apartment building, if you live in a regular house, they can help you. So do not be afraid to call 911 and say, "Hey, I need help getting back into the house," because they will help you, and that's free. That is free. It's free 99. You don't have to pay to be lifted back into your apartment. The only time you pay is when you're being transported to and or from like a facility, like a hospital, a nursing home, or anything like that. But if you're able to get into a car, or if your loved one, the person that you're taking care of, is able to get into a car, but you know, you struggle with getting them out of the bed, or they can't make it downstairs, they can't get up and walk, you can definitely do that. I remember doing it for my mother-in-law before she passed away in April of 2020. You know, the fire department, they couldn't get into her room. So I literally picked her up because she had lost so much weight. I picked her up and just held her, and I walked her into the living room. So then the fire department be able to have access to get her out. But that was a different situation. But yeah, I'm gonna come back because I feel like I'm recording for a long time. But yeah.